How do you feel about the Matrix remake, or not remake, but the new one?
I didn't even realize they were doing it. Honestly, I didn't follow the first one, so I didn't.
You never saw the first one?
Nope.
Dude, the first one's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like,
who was
no
in it?
kidding.
Keanu Reeves,
Sandra Bullock, Lawrence Fishburne.
I don't remember. I honestly don't.
Other people.
Honestly, don't remember.
It's the take a blue pill or red pill.
You know, I never saw Inception. Jake, we've established that I'm a horrible moviegoer. I never saw Inception other than a few clips online.
Let's take a look at the Matrix.
It was huge. Tomatoes. I remember it being huge when the original came out.
Only an 88% for the Matrix.
That's a pretty good tomato.
I mean, it's pretty good, but for a movie like The Matrix, you'd think it'd be like a fucking 100%. You know, who doesn't like The Matrix?
It's so amazing that you brought up movies. Guess what I saw? I saw a documentary that I heard on the Michael Mara show, and I watched it. And I don't know if you're old enough to remember this, but are you familiar with the guy named Bob Ross?
Of course.
The joy of painting with Bob Ross.
Yeah. I actually watched this as well.
Did you watch that documentary?
I did. Yeah,
I did too, and I totally wanted to bring it up. And I think the week that I watched it, I was sick that week, and we didn't do a show. And then I think, you know, our schedules kind of got all conflicted and discombobulated, and I never brought it up to you, but I watched that documentary of Bob Ross, and very interesting, man. Just absolutely interesting and a little heartbreaking. And spoiler alert, because it did just recently come out. So spoiler alert, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the Bob Ross documentary, it really broke my heart, the state of his son. As big of a star as Bob Ross was, it broke my heart to find his son in the financial climate that he's in. You would think, being connected to the bloodline of such an amazing person like Bob Ross, you would think that his son would be living a lot better, but he was sold out by another family member. And I'm paraphrasing because I don't want to spoil it too bad, but he was sold out by another family member. And it's just like, as clean cut of an image, because I remember watching Bob Ross videos in the 4th grade. My teacher would wheel out that big butt TV on that big, tall TV stand. She would wheel it into the classroom with the VCR that was strapped down to the shelf, to the second shelf of the TV cart. And she would put on Bob Ross, and we'd all be at the painter's table, or we all have our paint and our brushes, and we would be trying to mimic what Bob Ross was doing. I totally remember that. I loved Arts and Craft Day because we were going to be trying to recreate a Bob Ross painting. I can't tell you how many of my paintings my parents never put up on the refrigerator as a kid. Oh, that got a little dark. Nevertheless, we were painting Bob Ross, but I was really drawn to that documentary because I remember Bob Ross. And sometimes some of the episodes will still air on PBS. Every once in a while, you'll be able to trip over one. But I was completely heartbroken at the end of this thing. And I will say this, I will never buy a item that has Bob Ross's name on it because it was stolen.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
A guy
like
that
his entire I don't want to spoil it, I guess, but
I mean, a guy that his persona on PBS was so just like pure. Who knew that there were some vixens behind the scenes pulling the strings all the way into the afterlife? And it's almost like they are the couple. They're like double the bitch that killed her husband and fed him to the tigers with Tiger King. They're like double.
That bitch Carol Baskins.
That bitch Carol Baskins. They're like double. They're like the Carol Baskins couple. And I mean, to the point where there were people afraid to participate in the documentary because of these two individuals. And I know that I probably have spoiled it for some people, but damn it, hell, it's on streaming.
Still watch it. Still
watch
really
it if
good.
you remember Bob Ross from your childhood. And I'm happy that you watched it too, and we have yet to even discuss it. What were your takeaways on it?
So like Bob Ross for me, right? Like I grew up like everyone else, you know, PBS was my shit. When I was younger, we didn't have cable, so it was all PBS. So it was, you know, Elmo and all his buds on Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. Yep.
It was Arthur, you know, it was what else was on there? I don't know. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Barney, all that shit.
Petticoat Junction. What's your function?
And then as soon as like, you know, the kids programming would end on PBS because it would play at like early in the morning, the kids stuff. If I either stayed home late or stayed home sick or it was a weekend or something like Saturday or Sunday or whatever, it would go into either Antiques Roadshow, which was also great, or Bob Ross, you know. And you know, when I was younger, we all kind of thought Bob Ross was sort of a joke, right? It was kind of funny, like
because he was so weird to look at. He looked so different. He was a white guy with an afro.
He looked weird the way he talked. Yeah, like the part where he's like, "You got to beat the demons out of it," and then he would like hit his fucking paintbrush.
Just go ahead and just go ahead and smack the devil out of it.
And I think collectively, like me and all my friends and people of my age group all kind of clowned on him. But like deep down, we were all like, it's kind of like really peaceful to watch it. And it's like nice to like fall asleep to.
And right then here, we're going to have a nice little happy tree. It's a really, really nice little happy tree. Happy tree, just tap, 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 tap. Where does that other happy tree want to go? I think it just wants to go right here. Here we go. There's a little happy tree just right there. Just tap, 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 tap. And then now take your fan brush and just beat the devil out of it. He whispered through the entire show, and it was the most calming thing. It was like Jesus wrapped you in his arms.
And then also on top of that, you know, it was also funny just because like it felt like it was made for like $2 an episode. You know, like it felt like it was all being held together by a shoestring. Like literally, like things would just flash on the screen, and then like they would pull up the colors, and sometimes they'd put the wrong color up, and like, you know, it was just like really poorly put together.
They said in the documentary that it was shot in someone's home for the first couple of seasons. It was shot in someone's living room with a cheap bed sheet or something in the background.
Yeah, because initially it just started out as like a, you know, public broadcasting sort of deal that he would do, and he just loved painting, and that's just what he wanted to do. That's all. And then around 2014, like right when Twitch was starting to like become big and it was starting to blow up, Bob Ross, or his estate, I guess, created a Twitch channel where it was just live streams of repeated Bob Ross episodes. Yeah. And this became such a like cultural moment for everyone, I think. And everyone's like, holy shit, I didn't realize how much I needed Bob Ross in my life. And like people went to sleep, you know, and like ASMR became a big thing as well. And like Bob Ross was like the original ASMR.
He was ASMR before ASMR was ASMR.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Bob Ross, very important to me. I remember like in second grade, I was in art class, and you know, the teacher's like, go ahead and just do whatever you want. And I was just like, I will, because Bob Ross told me I could. Yep. And I ended up making this horrific thing. And I'm horrible. Like, Bob Ross would still tell me it's beautiful, you know? Yeah, it would. And I took pride in that.
And after you watch this documentary, you will hate one name, Kowalski.
Mm-hmm.
You will hate that name. And just dirty, man. Just dirty. Just absolute dirty. You know what I mean? Just, wow. You know what? And it just, maybe we'll get into this in the body of the show, but it just like culminates like, it just made me think that, is there any good people left in this fucking planet? Are there any good people left? Everybody's out to like get everybody. And I'm not even just talking about the pandemic. This shit goes all the way back to the 90s, where you've got this genuine guy, you know, other than his hair. I will spoil this. His hair was not real. He did that to his hair on purpose. That was not a natural afro.
That was a perm for sure.
He permed the shit out of it. But dude, it just brought back a whole lot of memories. And it sucked that his son Steve today, the way that he should be living a better life. And when you look at his son Steve, I mean, you think that you're looking at Bob Ross reincarnated, and he has the skill of Bob had, you know, the skill of painting, but without spoiling in it, he's not living a life of a painting pioneer son. And I will leave it at that. But it was very interesting. I watched another stupid movie too, and I can't remember what it was, but I was playing Netflix Kamikaze Netflix, just like, you know.
Oh, let's talk about it in the body of the show.
Okay,
because I've got some things, like movie related things. We can continue this conversation.
All right, we'll continue it. We'll kick the show off here. 5, 6, 7, 8.
What is up, boyos? Welcome to the... Cory is over there marking me. You better stop it, Cory. This is the Jake and Cory Podcast. I'm Jake. That's Cory. What is up, Cory?
I'll never visit Florida.
Oh, we're not just going to continue the movie talk. All right.
No, we're going to continue.
Florida it is.
No. We'll continue the movie talk because I mean, I'm nervous talking movies with you because you are the movie aficionado. I'm not. You know, I mean, I watch documentary here and there, and then I think, you know, I got something to talk to you about. But then I know where you're about to take us right now is. No,
I'm not going to do like my movie list. I'm not going to do my movie list.
No, but
I've
even when you
topics.
like talk, but when you talk about it, then you're like, especially when. Okay, I'll ask you this. The two things that you're going to talk about, does any of them have the M word in it?
M word.
The M word.
They're movies, yeah.
Marvel.
No, they don't have Marvel in them.
Because when you start talking about Marvel movies, man, you go off into a space and it's a beautiful place for you. But dude, it's like you just start. It's like I start to hear, literally, Jake. I hear hieroglyphics when you start talking Marvel movies. I hear hieroglyphics, and hieroglyphics are.
You should hear me talk Star Wars, my guy.
Oh no, you talk Star Wars. I'm just coma. Just instant coma. You can talk Star Wars with DT all day. You talk Star Wars with me,
and we have done that.
You might as well be breaking down the rule of relativity in physics.
I wanted to bring this up because this is another documentary, and it kind of relates to the Bob Ross thing we were talking about at the beginning. I watched a documentary called Val. I don't know if you've heard of this one. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. And it's about the actor Val Kilmer. Do you know Val Kilmer?
Yeah, I know who Val Kilmer is. He played Batman at one time.
He did play Batman. So the thing about Val Kilmer is he got throat cancer. And he can't talk anymore, like literally. And, you know, he has the trach and stuff. And, like, that's why when you see him around, he's wearing the scarf and stuff. And, like...
Oh, I heard the Michael Mara show talk about this. Okay.
Yeah, and this documentary was very much like the Bob Ross one, where it was just kind of beautiful and heartbreaking all at the same time.
Okay.
So I guess the entire time Val Kilmer was in the industry, he had a camera with him because he just always wanted to record everything. I guess when he was younger, he had a brother who wanted to be a director. So he filmed everything, and then his brother passed away when they were like 12 years old. And he took that camera and continued to film everything up until his adult life. And basically this movie just goes through the good and bad of Val Kilmer, and there is footage there for all of it. And yeah, it's very interesting to see like the behind the scenes footage of like Batman and some of his earlier works. Like he worked with Sean Penn and Kevin Bacon on some like underground like Broadway show, and like just seeing these three guys who became like ultra legends now. They were nothing then, and they were just like these up and coming actors, and like they were just hanging out. It was just like a really, really interesting documentary, and definitely worth watching. So I wanted to bring that up.
The Michael Mara show actually talked about that documentary, Val, and the cool thing about the story behind his younger brother passing away, and then he carrying on like that legacy of like recording every moment in life, and I think that's going to be some amazing footage, if we do lose Val. I think it's going to be an amazing thing for a director to go back in and look at those if the family decides to release it. But that was like the most interesting thing about what they said about the documentary. I haven't personally seen it, but the fact that the moments that he described were actually moments caught on tape, and that's what makes that documentary so amazing.
It was all narrated by Val Kilmer's son as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he almost sounds like Val.
He sounds exact. If no one told you it wasn't Val Kilmer, I wouldn't have believed you. It almost felt like, because like obviously Val Kilmer didn't do it because he can't really talk anymore. Right. But like, if someone was like, yeah, they just put it in like a Val Kilmer AI software to read it, I would have believed you. But it was his son, and it sounded just like him. And Val Kilmer, totally an underrated actor. He's been in some of my favorite movies of all time, dude. Like, of course, Batman Forever, but the Doors movie. Have you ever seen that movie? God damn, I love that movie so much. That is a movie I've watched like 50 times growing up. Like, I love that movie so much.
I think Val Kilmer's son has the Hanks effect, is I believe the way, and I'm, repeating this from the other podcast that I listened to about it, the Hanks effect, where Tom Hanks has a brother that can speak just like him as Tim Hanks. And Val Kilmer's son has the exact same voice as Val Kilmer. And that was kind of cool. But then they also mentioned that it gave him a little bit of a creepy vibe, knowing, that Val can't really talk, and it sounds exactly like Val. Did you not get a creepy fact from kind of knowing that?
No, I thought it was like a beautiful thing, especially because there's scenes where like he goes back to his college, and his son is there with him, and and it's just like, it's kind of like a nice thing where it's like almost like this was probably like a bonding experience for him and his son, you know?
Sure.
Yeah,
I might have to give it an old looky-loo. Is it on? You said it's on Amazon. Yeah, you should definitely give it.
I believe it is on Amazon. Yeah. The other movie thing I wanted to bring up before we get to Florida was, and you're probably gonna make fun of me for this too, but it is another M word. The Mario movie. Okay,
here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in.
Okay, so they're making an animated Mario movie, okay? Have you heard about this at all?
No.
You haven't heard about this? Like the cast of characters of Mario, though.
Yeah, you got Mario, you got Luigi, you got Princess Toadstool, you got the Frog, you got McGruff, you got the Crime Dog.
You got Bowser, Donkey Kong, those guys.
They drive cars, they throw shells.
We'll certainly talk about this on the Loner Gamecast because everything is video games. But they announced like the casting for this movie. And when they announced this movie, first of all, I was like, there's no way this movie is going to have that much speaking in it, right? Because Mario runs around and he just goes, Mamma mia, that's like what he does. Like that's Mario. Like he doesn't talk, like he doesn't.
God, I hope this movie has big, huge cartoon sized bullets in it.
So, who do you think they would like if you could cast anyone as Mario? Who would you pick? This will be a fun little game.
Who would I pick to voice Mario?
And then I'll tell you who they picked.
Who would I pick to voice Mario?
Voice, yeah, because it's an animated movie. It's made by the guys who made Despicable Me. So
I don't know why this just popped into my head, but Jack Black for some reason just popped into my head to voice Mario. But
okay, that's really funny you say that.
I'm thinking that maybe, someone from the Godfather movies. Man, that might be too serious of a Mario. Or wait, what's the guy? He lives out here. Former SNL guy. He lives out in Phoenix.
David Spade?
No, the comedian. And
Rob Schneider?
He does voices. Frank Caliendo. Frank,
he was on Mad TV, by the way.
Okay, Mad TV. Frank Caliendo. So I would think maybe Frank Caliendo for a Mario, but I don't know why Jack Black popped into my head for some reason. Even though I can't imagine Jack Black being Mario with the zippity-doo-dah day, but Jack
Come on,
Black,
you motherfucker, take a prayer. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why he popped into my head, but maybe Frank Caliendo.
So Mario is being played by Chris Pratt.
The stud?
Yeah, the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
The big sexy dude?
Yeah,
Mario?
He was also in Parks and Rec, if you ever watched that show. He was Andy. Yeah.
What? That dream?
Yeah.
He's not Italian. He's not even remotely.
Right. You think it's going to be him doing like, oh, mamma mia, or you think he's just going to be like, it's just Mario with Chris Pratt's voice? I don't know
if Chris Pratt doesn't necessarily come across to me as a character voice actor, if you will. Has he done any other animations?
He was in the Lego movie, and I will say he was pretty good in the Lego movie as well.
Was he Groot?
Groot?
Yeah. In the Marvel movies, he didn't.
That's Vin Diesel.
Oh, he wasn't the tree boy?
No, he was the main guy in that movie.
Okay.
Star-Lord.
Chris Pratt?
Yeah, weird as fuck, okay? Who would you cast?
Way out.
Who would you cast as Peach? Princess Peach.
Princess Peach. Who would I cast as Princess Peach? I'm gonna go Broadway, actually. And
okay.
I can't remember who she is, but she's a huge Broadway star. Don't tell me. I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna figure out who it is. And it's a female Broadway star. She's very, very, very popular. Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh, that's a pretty good choice, actually. That's pretty good.
I would put
she did play, she was in Wicked.
Or Patti LuPone as Princess. But Kristen Chenoweth, I believe, would do an amazing...
That's a really good pick.
An amazing Princess Toadstool.
That's a really good pick. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Princess Peach is being played by Anya Taylor-Joy.
I have no idea.
Dude,
I thought you were going to say freaking Tiffany Haddish. I really thought you were going to say like Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish? That'd be amazing, dude. I would watch the fuck out of that.
That would
Holy
be
shit.
Trash. That would be trash.
I would love that.
What is her name?
Anya Taylor-Joy, she was in that show, The Queen's Gambit, which was a Netflix thing. She was in the New Mutants.
She's foreign.
Yeah, she's sort of weird looking. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. She's very identifiable.
She's got that I'm gonna drive you off the side of the road because you gave me the good D eyes.
Yeah, and she's got that look, but like also like, yeah, I'll let you do that kind of look, you know?
Yeah, spit in my mouth, pull my hair. What?
Who's next? Who's next?
Hey, but it was a good pull with Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
I think she would be great.
How about Mario's little brother, Luigi?
Mario's little brother, Luigi. Who would I voice act? Mario's little brother, Luigi. You know what? I would give both roles to Frank Caliendo. But if I had to, gun to my head, and I had to get two voice actors for Luigi, the younger brother, that's a good question, man. I don't know. I can't get past Frank Caliendo when it comes to cartoon character voices.
Well, because in the Mario games, he's played by Charles Martinet or whatever. Both of them, you know?
Yeah. Let's see. That's a really good one. You know what? I'm gonna go on a wild card here. And this may be really way over the top, but because he's a lot older now and he's kind of mellowed out a little bit, I would probably voice Luigi because I know this actor would be able to do a really good character voice. I'm going to pull Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey.
That's not a bad pick.
And Frank Caliendo playing off of each other for an animation Mario movie. That probably would be really, really great. And Jim Carrey could do a younger sounding brother voice for Luigi. He would be able to enact the accent very well. Caliendo would be able to do it, and Jim Carrey is known for making these noises, you know. But I would maybe pull Jim. Yeah, I would probably pull Jim Carrey into that role for Luigi.
That's a good pick, and especially since Jim Carrey, you know, he came back to comedy with that Sonic the Hedgehog movie. You know,
exactly.
So he's already in that family. Luigi is going to be played by Charlie Day.
I'm not sure who that is.
Have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Charlie. Okay, I know exactly who you're talking about. And yes, I've watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That Charlie Day, okay, you know what? That's good. That's better than Jim Carrey.
Good, right?
That's spot the fuck on, honestly. To be honest, that's spot on, Charlie Day. I think they should double down, kick out the guy doing Mario, and double track Charlie Day. Man, that's almost like a younger version of a Jim Carrey. He's almost got that Jim Carrey craziness. You know what I mean? Because he was amazing on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. His playoff of Danny DeVito is some of the most iconic, crazy, amazing stuff. When him and I loved It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I go to this one scene of Danny DeVito's character sitting at a bar height table in the kitchen, and he's got a hooker or somebody with him, and she's trying to give him a handy behind the bar, and Danny DeVito's character just looks up and says, "You're just mashing it at this point." It's not even hard anymore. You're just mashing it. He doesn't say smashing it or smushing it. He says you're just mashing it like mashed potatoes. It's the funniest now, honey, you're just mashing it. He's not even
my monster condom for my magnum dong.
He's not even into it anymore. And this girl is steady under the table trying to get him going again. And he says, "Now you're just mashing."
That show's so good, man.
But Charlie Day, that's a good pull for Luigi. I think that's a really good pull, honestly.
How about I got three more for you. We'll save the last two big ones.
Okay.
But Toad is like the little guy with the mushroom hat, you know?
Toad is the little guy with the mushroom hat.
Yeah, he's like the one that's like, "Hey guys, I am gonna give you all the information. I'm friends with Peach," or whatever. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. You know what? I'm gonna go to the Steady Eddie name for this, and I had to look it up because I couldn't remember his name. But I'm gonna go
Frank Caliendo.
No, not Frank, but comparable to Frank. I'm gonna go with Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane, not a bad pick.
Seth MacFarlane for Toad.
He's got a pretty deep voice for Toad, don't you think?
But I think that he can get up there for Toad and give Toad that inflection of seriousness that Toad normally has, because Toad always has the knowledge that Mario...
I would like to see Toad played by Patrick Warburton, you know? Just like little tiny Toad, and he just comes in, "Hey, Peter," you know? Patrick Warburton, yeah.
From played Family Guy.
He played Kronk in Emperor's New Groove, yeah.
You know what? What about...
Hey, Peter.
This one's going to be funny for you. Okay, for Toad. And he's got a deep voice, yeah, but I think it would be funny. I'm just going to put it out there. George Takaki.
George Takai?
Yeah, I say George Takaki because it's pronounced Kai, but it's spelled Takaki. George Takai for Toad.
Oh my.
Oh my.
That's some interesting picks.
Interesting.
Toad is going to be played by Keegan-Michael Key.
The weird guy from SNL? From Mad TV?
Yeah, he was, and Key and Peele, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big-time movie director now.
No, that's Jordan Peele.
Oh, Keegan.
He's the other one. He's like the taller guy.
Keegan-Michael Key. Yeah.
Keegan.
Yeah, Keegan-Michael Key. He's the one that played on Mad TV.
Yeah. Him and Jordan Peele were on.
The PE teacher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing Toad.
He can do that because he's cheesy enough to pull off Toad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's the last two big ones.
Okay.
Bowser.
That's the big alligator, right?
Turtle guy with the spiky shell. Yeah.
Yeah, the mean guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I already have a person in mind for this.
Mm-hmm.
Exhibit.
Exhibit. We're gonna pimp your ride, dog.
Exhibit can totally do Bowser. Exhibit.
Holy shit, that's a really good poll.
I'm voicing Bowser with Exhibit.
Exhibit. Oh, that's really good. Okay.
Seriously, I had him in mind the whole time we started doing this. I said, I can't wait till we get to Bowser. It's going to be Exhibit. I think he would kill that. He would totally kill that. Oh, can I go back to Toad? I want to put in another name for Toad.
Okay,
I just thought of it right now. Toad. Oh my God, I just had his name on the tip of my tongue and it just went away. Scrubs.
Donald Faison.
Not Donald. Zach Braff. Zach Braff as Toad.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's pretty good.
Zach Braff as Toad. Okay.
I like that.
And Exhibit as Bowser.
Okay, Bowser is being played by, drumroll please, Jack Black.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Serious.
Jack Black annoys me, so that's I'm coming.
I love Jack Black, dude.
He drives me insane.
Jack Black
he
is
makes
my
me dizzy.
Tenacious D is one of my favorite bands of all time, and I am not even joking.
He wants to be he wants to be Chris Farley so bad. He will never be Chris Farley.
No, he's not even close to Chris Farley, dude.
He wants to be Chris Farley.
Dude, no way. You're wrong. You're so wrong about that.
I'm sorry, I'm not a Jack Black fan, man.
You're so wrong about that. But anyway, yeah, Jack Black is playing. First of all, don't ever insult Jack Black again or Chris Farley.
I didn't insult him.
Okay?
I didn't insult Chris Farley. It's an insult to Chris Farley that Jack Black wants to be him. I didn't insult Jack Black. I just said he makes me dizzy, and Jack Black. I'm not a fan of Jack Black.
Tenacious D is one of the most important things in my life ever. Ever.
Okay,
ever.
I'm the most important thing in your life. That's fine.
I rung them in. They rung me into New Year's 2019.
Drives me insane.
Beautiful year.
Sorry. It's me. I'm not saying that you don't like him.
School of Rock, dude. School of Rock, dude. School of Rock.
It was a movie that was overacted from opening to closing credit. Overacted the entire time.
High Fidelity. You ever see High
Fidelity? Yes. Overacting the whole time.
King Kong.
He's trying to be a hybrid of Jim Carrey and Chris Farley, and it's not working.
No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it, dude. I think Jack Black is just weird, man. I think he's just a weird guy.
I'm a weird guy. I know weird. Jack Black is not weird. He's overhyped in my eyes.
You're wrong. Okay,
I'm wrong in your eyes. Oh, okay. I think I have an idea for who I want to voice Donkey Kong.
And while you're thinking about that, I want everyone to know Donkey Kong, I do main Donkey Kong in Mario Kart. Donkey Kong is my guy. 100%. Also, Bowser is my dude in Smash Bros. So it's got to be said. Just throwing that out there for the audience.
Okay. Donkey Kong. I had to look this person up because I don't know what his name is.
Yonka Donk.
But you're gonna know his name the moment I say it. Adewale Akinawa Agabaje, the guy who voiced Killer Croc in Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I put him as
That's a wild
Donkey
pick.
Kong.
That's a wild pick. Okay. I think that's going to make you feel really weird about the actual actor who's playing Donkey Kong.
I picked it. Who's playing Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong is being played by Seth Rogen.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. No.
I don't know. I think it's an okay pick because I always pictured Donkey Kong and his buddies like just a bunch of like stoner dudes who like to hang out on their island, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we got to take care of that crocodile guy." He's like, God, the music in Donkey Kong 64 just slaps so hard. Sorry.
You know who else I would
really nerdy.
Man, I know Seth Rogen's gonna do it, but outside of Anawami or whatever, because he's just really cool. I would put the late night TV talk show host guy in there. Not Jimmy Fallon, James Gordon.
Dude, if I see James Corden like on the title of any movie, I'm out.
Don't watch the new Cinderella then. That's another thing. That's another one that I watched. I watched that too.
We talked about that, I think.
Yeah, it made me dizzy. He was the funniest thing out of that whole movie, and that's saying a lot.
I hate that guy, which sucks because I really like Reggie Watts, who is his band leader.
He's a musical genius. Absolute musical genius. I watched that mashup between Reggie Watts and Mark Gullet or whatever his name is. Have you seen that on YouTube?
Mark Ribeillet? Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Gullet. Mark Ribeillet. I like Mark Ribeillet because a lot of his YouTube videos he's in his draws.
That's true. That's like his thing.
I love it. And he just makes up those got vaccinated. I got vaccinated.
Mark Ribeillet, Reggie Watts, and Flying Lotus.
Oh yeah, there was somebody else in there.
Yeah, dude, Flying Lotus kicks ass too.
It was pretty badass. But okay, so that for Donkey Kong, all right, fine. I knew Seth Rogen was going to be in there somewhere because there's no way that they're going to do something this iconic and not have Seth Rogen, no matter how annoying and high he's going to be the whole time. You know, no matter how high he's going to be, I mean, he does do pretty good work. You know,
and then they topped it off by saying Cranky Kong is being played by Fred Armisen.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah,
and then they also said Charles Martinet, who voices Mario in the games, is going to be making like special cameos throughout the entire movie. So
they could fire everybody and just bring in Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
That right there was a single moment I wish this was a video show. That's the single moment I wish this was a video show for what you just did. That was adorably, heinously cute. That was great. Oh, the one time I wish this was a video podcast. Ooh. Oh, man. Ooh, you touched my ta-la-la.
Hey, now. Florida. Let's get into it. Why don't you want to live in Florida?
We got about 15 minutes. I just don't get it. I just don't fucking get it, man. I really don't get it. They're now cutting teachers' pay that for teachers that are asking mask on students. They're cutting their pay, and Uncle Joe is sending federal funds into Florida to pick up the slack from where the state has cut the budgets to these schools over mask. What? I mean, it's what was threatened to be done here in Arizona, and it hasn't been done. But Florida is actually doing it. Teachers are already working on a shoestring budget. They don't get paid diddly shit for what they do. Teachers go into their own pockets for resources in the classroom. And now the Florida state is cutting pay for the teachers that are enforcing masks. What the fuck? You can't. I read that headline and my mind was blown. Biden administration sends federal funds to pick up where state funds have been removed for teachers' pay. Just specific teachers. Are you serious right now? Mama, I'm like, when you thought there wasn't another level of evil that they could sink to, they sink to it. They find a basement to their evil. That right there, Jake, there is no other way to classify that in my eyes other than being pure, unadulterated, fucking evil. You're already having a hard time keeping teachers in these damn classrooms, quality teachers in these damn classrooms, and now you're punishing them for doing something that they think is going to protect the health of kids. Absolutely fucking evil.
I don't even understand. How are we just like how are we still here?
Yeah, how are we here?
Like how are we having this conversation every week? And like for the people that vote that way and for the people that support that, why? And are the people like who support this, do most of these people have kids? Like I wonder. Probably. I like you really want to put your kid at risk? Like
it is
like even if you're unsure like that COVID is a thing, right? Like even if you're like, I don't know, is COVID real? Probably not or whatever. Like even if you lean on that side, which is moronic in and of itself, but even if you leaned on that side, you'd probably be like, well, just in case. And it's funny because we talked about it a little bit last week about how a lot of people who push this fucking narrative are a lot of evangelical Christians. And I've had a lot of conversations with people like that. And their argument is always, well, even if it's not real, isn't it better to like, you know, at least you like, if he is real, you were on the right side. And if he's not, no harm done. The same is true about the masks, right? You could use that same fucking argument. Because like the masks really don't hurt anyone, right? Like I don't, even if we had mask mandates in schools for the rest of time, Who's that really going to affect?
No one. We have school uniform mandates. And then, Jake, they just didn't stop there. Florida put in place a new Surgeon General. And I'm sorry, Jake, to say this on your show, but this black MFer should at least look at the African American community and the disparities that are running rampant through the African American community. And this black son of a bitch is anti-mask and anti-vaccine. And he's the freaking Surgeon General of Florida. If anything, man, look at how this disease has ravaged the African American community, Latino community, the less served communities. And he worked his way up to become the Surgeon General of a state, and he comes with this bullshit. Seriously. Florida, man. Florida. My stomach turned when I saw Florida has a new state Surgeon General. A guy that's job is to make sure things are safe. And his first task is to publicly come out against mask and vaccinations, to align himself right up with Newsom. To become a Surgeon General, you have to have some knowledge of science. You have to have some knowledge of medicine. Are you serious? And I'm sorry to call the guy out for his race, but that's what I saw. And it's such a spit in the face of so many people that are in underserved communities of color that are still struggling with this thing, still struggling to get the vaccine, still struggling to find supplies, still struggling to afford a mask, where they have to walk into a grocery store without a mask on, be handed a mask, so they now have a mask to wear for the rest of the day. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting that he can't even look at his own community and he thumbs his nose up at it. Yeah, you guys aren't dying in the streets. Your kids aren't at risk in these schools. They're not lining up in the hospital. I mean, that right there, Jake, there's a phrase that the African American community would classify him as, and the community would call him an Uncle Tom. And what an Uncle Tom is a African American person who has sided with the white master. Back in the slavery days, they would refer to him as an Uncle Tom. And what this new Surgeon General of Florida is being classified in the black community is an Uncle Tom. Because it seems like he sold out his own community to reach the level that he's at.
Yeah, some real Candace Owens energy.
Big time. You know,
at what point do we cancel Disney World, you know? for remaining in Florida.
I mean, Jesus. It's absolutely insane. And you remember that other black doctor that was a fake black doctor that was doing those press releases in the middle of the pandemic, that black lady that was this panel of doctors that when we were in the height of the pandemic, she's standing behind him. And they found out that she practices like witch doctory and holistic drugs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I had a doctor's appointment.
All the doctors that they find that do this shit, like the people that are like the doctors that are anti-mask or the doctors that are anti-vax, they're always like, so like, what do they have their doctorate in? And it's like, fucking gender studies,
kinesiology,
sociology. I fucking know.
They just have a doctorate because they passed the test. Here's the thing,
never
people.
It's never an epidemiologist. It's never that. It's always
here's
like a
thing.
podiatrist.
The real doctors are not sitting down with TV cameras. The real doctors are in the hospitals taking care of people.
I think the reports are out. 91% of American doctors have been vaccinated.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. These motherfuckers that are standing up in front of Florida are vaccinated.
Oh, yeah. They always are. They're always
vaccinated.
We want to ban mask mandates. Hold on, let me take my mask off real quick. We want to ban mask mandates. Always. That's always the case. It's like Donald Trump when he got booed for the vaccine thing. When he went up on stage in front of all of his followers and he's like, I like the vaccine. I like it. It's good. And his followers are like, fuck you, Trump. It's like, there's a line.
He heel-toed real quick. I'll break this news to you too, even though this isn't breaking news, folks. Our own Governor Douche Nozzle, he got vaccinated right next to Kara Chris. He's vaccinated.
Oh, yeah. These motherfuckers didn't just get vaccinated. They got vaccinated in like December of last year. Like,
when vaccinations
they were one of the first ones.
They were first in line to this, and then now they heel-toed it because the money strings that are tied to their campaigns and their careers, and Gavin Newsom and Ducey and the governor of Mississippi and Texas, watch those names appear on the next presidential ballot.
Oh, no doubt, dude. Newsom is absolutely gonna run for president. There's no way. Ducey is absolutely like getting ready to run. There's no way he isn't. What's the Texas guy?
I can't remember.
That guy's gonna run. Yeah, that dude's gonna run. Guarantee
guarantee they're gonna run, and they're gonna run on under the Trump ticket. Here's what's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
that all these
we're
guys
already seeing like the presidential lineup, like for sure.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing is that all these guys, Florida, Texas, Mississippi, Arizona. It's so interesting that all these guys are the ones that were sucking on the pale nipplet of the Trump. What are they going to do if the Trump is running against them? What if Trump runs again in 2024? How are they going to handle that? You've been drinking the juice of this guy, and then now you got to become his enemy. You're afraid of him before. What's going to happen in 2024?
I'd actually like to see that happen.
They'll destroy themselves from the inside out.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to see that happen, especially because Trump is going to go up there. Well, first of all, I want to say I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think Trump is going to be like in the right condition to be doing that in the next 2 years. I really don't. I think his health is probably going to deteriorate sooner rather than later.
If the Simpsons prediction comes true, he won't.
What's the Simpsons prediction?
The Simpsons predicted his death.
Oh, yeah?
They also predicted his presidency.
Yeah, they're always right. Except for when they're wrong. Yeah, but like I would like to see that just to like, because Trump is gonna get up there, just like he did with Ted Cruz and like pick him up and like play with him like he's a fucking dog toy. And he's going to do that with Ducey. He's going to go up there and be like, Ducey was a piece of shit when I worked with him when I was president the first time. He's a piece of shit loser.
He can't control the border, blah, blah, blah.
He's a nice guy, but honestly, he kind of fucking sucks, doesn't he, guys? Come on, give me a round of applause. He's a fucking idiot. China, Russia, all that stuff. That it's all collusion. And then Trump will win the primary, and then these guys will still be sucking his dick. And every Republican is still going to be like, the Republicans are the strong guys. It's so funny, man. It's so funny.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. I would be surprised if we ever see another Republican president in the next election. I think if they continue down the streak that they're on right now, dude, Uncle Joe's is going to sashay himself into a second term. He's gonna tap dance into it. And I mean,
it depends on the electoral college.
And you know what? The gerrymandering that's going on right now.
Yeah, exactly.
May very well.
Yeah, exactly. Because apparently, elections can be determined by landmass and not by people,
100%.
I guess
it's called gerrymandering. Stupid. And it's completely legal, and it does all the time, and they predict elections, and they have in the past, and they will in the future. So we might get another one if you just start looking at what's happening right now. There's a whole lot of lines being redrawn right now, which shifts the electoral college. And
it seems like such a simple solution to this issue. One person equals one vote, and that's it. Like it doesn't need to be more complicated than that.
No, the voting system has been broken from the beginning, and then they're just making it even. They're making it even harder in some of these states for people just to even vote, like here in Arizona, like in Texas, like in Florida. They're making it even more challenging for the less served communities to even vote. And it was the less served communities that came out and voted. And oh, by the way, I know we're up at the end of the show. Good job, Arizona Republicans, on that voter audit. That worked out.
It always does.
That worked out. And not only did it work out, it proved that he lost by even a bigger margin than what was originally reported. Now, what are you going to say?
Every time. Your
own fucking company. Your own fucking auditors found no fraud, but they did find that Trump lost by a bigger margin than what was originally reported.
So there was fraud.
Worth it.
There was fraud towards Trump.
Worth it.
Yeah. So funny, man.
I mean, the money that was spent, the millions and millions of taxpayer dollars that was spent on this thing, on this company, and the company is still, and what are they going to say now? Oh, this company wasn't credible to begin with. How are you going to swing this, bitches? Waste of time from the beginning.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how these next 3 years shake up, you know?
I mean, and Uncle Joe ain't sliding down a hill of greatness right now either.
No, him
and cousin Cam got to get their shit together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got to get their shit together because they ain't sliding down. They shit don't smell no better than the shit before right now. They got to get that shit together. Everything that happened over there in Kazakhstan, or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, I think all of that will become irrelevant though if this vaccine thing works out. Because right now a lot of people are pissed at Biden for which we talked about it last week about the vaccine mandate for jobs but here's the thing. All those people who are pissed off about that, if that turns around and in a year, you know, COVID is endemic and like we're just kind of living our lives again, I think that's all going to be behind us, and his approval ratings will probably be sky high if in a year COVID's like basically gone. It's going to look real good on Biden.
It's going to be really interesting the winter months. Which is going to be, the winter months is what's going to be really interesting, because the winter months.
Yeah, because if that shit starts dipping in the winter, then he's doing something right.
That's pretty much almost a wrap in my opinion. But I still say that they blew their load. They beat their L when they told vaccinated people to stop social distancing and not wearing a mask. They did that. They did that when there was only 37 to 40% of Americans vaccinated. That shouldn't have happened until there was at least 70%.
Yeah.
Because what that did, and we said it on the show, that gave the stupids a green card to say, oh, yeah, I'm vaccinated, and rip off the mask.
Yep.
And boom, numbers shot right the fuck back up. And now you got Costco rationing out paper towels and toilet paper again.
Yeah, and the only people who actually wore their masks were the vaccinated people because they knew exactly what the fuck was going on.
Yep. I mean,
same song and dance every single time, dude.
Every time, man. And it's just like, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And these evangelical Christians that are sitting in their pulpits and preaching that this is rehearsal for the mark of the beast, you can go screw. You can go screw.
I'm just so
you'll be around for the mark of the beast. The true believers won't.
I'm so confused how they can keep perpetrating this stupidity. Like, it's just, it seems so obvious. And I've said it on this show before, but it's like these people consistently just pick the wrong side just because the other side is saying, nah, that ain't right. They're like, oh, they said that's not right. It must be right.
If the Democrats came out and said the sky is blue, the Republicans will come out and say the sky is gray. If the Republicans come out and say the ocean is green, the Democrats will come out and say we need to save the ocean. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's always some other angle where we can't just fucking agree on the most simplistic thing. This coronavirus is not a political thing. This is a freaking health thing. We shouldn't be listening to fucking suits. Democrat or Republican. We shouldn't be listening to fucking suits and ties. We should be listening to medical jackets, smocks, and stethoscopes. That's what we should be listening to. Not listening to fucking political politicians.
Yeah, we shouldn't be listening to Mario. We should be listening to Dr. Mario.
We should be listening to and I'm not talking about Dr. Phil or Dr. whoever. You know what? You know what we all need to do?
What's that doctor that has that fucking daytime talk show? What's that guy's name?
Dr. Oz. We don't need to listen to him either. His lisp gets me. You know what we all need to do, Jake? You know what we all need to do? We all need to paint a nice little happy tree. Nice little happy tree. Just put a nice little happy tree just right there. Let's see. There's going to be another little happy tree right here. Where's that happy tree going to go? We're going to, there it is right there. Just popped right out from the back. That's where's that nice little happy tree. Let's go ahead and tap that happy tree. And then you go ahead and take Governor Newsom and just beat the devil out of him. Just beat the devil right out of him.
Just beat him out. 5, 6, 7, 8.